Hello, everyone. This is Emmanuel, Eliason, your financial educator, coming to you today with another edition of Financial Breakthrough Academy. This month, September, is noted to be what we call the Life Insurance Awareness Month. And I feel it quite necessary for us to discuss a little bit something on the subject of life insurance today. I'll be sharing briefly what I call uses of life insurance. If you know very well on this program, we do our best to provide education, valuable information you can use for yourself, your family, your community, your church, your business. So we encourage you to take some notes. Nonetheless, whenever you want to implement any of the ideas we share on this program, we do encourage you to consult with a professional, consult with your attorney, consult with your accountant, somebody that can help you navigate the various components of implementing the concept that we share on this program. So let's go ahead and get to our topic today. As I said, this month is called a month dedicated to provide awareness on the subject of life insurance. So we're going to be treating the subject of life insurance today. Particularly, I'm talking about uses of life insurance. Good. So again, September's Life Insurance Awareness Month, and what does it mean to you as an individual in terms of what life insurance is? Here are a few things. First of all, as you know very well, we try to give us some perspective of what we are talking about from a biblical perspective. Here's one verse of scripture. Proverbs 13:22 says this: a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous. I like another scripture in Matthew 22:32 that talks and says, I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. So typically, I often say that, in fact, life insurance, as we know it, most people, when they hear the phrase or the statement life insurance, they think about dying. Truly, if you look at the scripture we just read, God says, I'm the God of the living, not the dead. I say life insurance, frankly, is for the living, because those who have it, they themselves may have the opportunity to use it, especially have a program that has some different components to it. Or when they pass away, they don't use it themselves, but however, those they live to actually get to use the resources that they have left behind. So that's one of my twists to that scripture, that God is the God of the living, not of the dead. So in fact, life insurance is for the living, not for the dead. Okay, so with that said, let's jump into a few concepts we want to share today on the subject. So what is life insurance? When you hear the phrase life insurance, what does it actually mean? What is the real meaning of life insurance? So simply, life insurance is a contract that you sign with an insurance company, obligating it to pay a death benefit of a certain value to the beneficiaries you name. That is the definition that we have on the screen. So if you hear the statement life insurance, the phrase life insurance, you are simply dealing with a contract that you have signed with an insurance company that is obligating the insurance company to pay a death benefit of a certain value to a beneficiary or a certain number of beneficiaries you have named. Okay, all of us have some contracts, one way or the other. You know, all kinds of business contracts we have. You know, whatever you're doing, you may have a contract, and life insurance is no different. It's a contract. Okay, it's simply a contract that you have with a life insurance company that is obligating the company to pay a certain amount based on what the contract value is, and to a beneficiary that you have named. Okay, now just a few things here. We've just talked about the definition of life insurance, types of life insurance, and obviously I'm dealing with the users of life insurance. So these are the three areas I want to cover briefly, but emphasizing more on the uses of life insurance. We just described the definition of life insurance. Let's look at what we call the types of life insurance. There are primarily two types of life insurance. It doesn't matter how much you dice and slice it. At the end of the day, you come to two main types of life insurance. One is called term insurance, and the other is called permanent insurance. Okay, so I'm going to kind of try to explain, give you a very short synopsis of what it means. When you say term insurance, you are simply talking about an insurance contract that is designed to last a short time. It can be 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, sometimes to 30 years. Okay, so again, the terminology gives it away. Term is for a specific time period. It lasts for a specific time period, and typically it tends to be very, less expensive. It doesn't have what we call cash value, whereby it doesn't grow in actual cash. It's just a pure straight insurance that you leave behind, God forbid, if you have to pass away in a specific time period, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 20, 30, depending on the contract. So whatever it is, when you say term insurance, you are basically talking about a contract that you have with an insurance company, that you are paying a certain amount into it on an ongoing basis, and the insurance company is taking an obligation to promise to pay a defined amount, God forbid, if you were to pass away to a specific day during the time period that you have the contract. And the second type is what we call permanent insurance. Okay, permanent insurance, as you can tell, the name simply says, it's an insurance that is designed to last your lifetime. Unlike the term insurance, which is normally for a specific time period. Again, you may be able to quote unquote renew it or extend the term of the insurance, but normally it comes a little bit more expensive by the time that you are ready to extend it. Okay, but permanent insurance, typically you pay a specific amount most of the time. For the most part, it stays the same throughout the lifetime of the individual, which is, normally up to about 100 years. Some contract may say up to, say, 120 years old or so, but whatever it is designed to last your lifetime. You pay a specific amount during the lifetime, and it has a unique feature we call cash value, or it grows in amount, where somebody can be able to access some of the value of it whilst you're living. Again, depending on the nature of the contract, you have to read and see what exactly it says. But also, one main feature is that permanent insurance is usually you put a little bit more money into it. One easy way you can perhaps distinguish between the two is, perhaps if you say term insurance is like you're renting your house, okay, and permanent insurance is like you own the house, okay. So that's kind of how to, maybe if you want to wrap your head around the two terminologies. All right. So again, the type of insurance you have: the permanent, you have temp insurance, you have, or temporary insurance, you have permanent insurance. These are the two broad insurance, life insurance that we have. Now, let's go to the meat of what we want to discuss today. What are the uses of life insurance? As you can see on the screen, or as you listen, wherever you may listen to, primarily, life insurance is designed, number one, to pay a death benefit to help relieve financial burden due to loss of a loved one. Okay. For most of us who, we believers, we trust God for His blessing, long life, prosperity, all of that. But we also know that humans have a specific lifespan. You could be 100 years old, 150, whatever. Gone are the days when people used to live, hundreds of years. It's most times these days people live to 120, 100 years, 90 years, whatever God's promise or plan for them is, or to circumstances of life, and they pass away. If the person has life insurance in place at the time of their death, it is the one main use and primary use of the insurance would be to pay a benefit, a financial benefit designed to help those that have been left behind, who are loved ones, children, family members, spouses, people who depend on such an individual. That is what one of the main uses, primary use of life insurance, to provide, to help relieve the financial burden because somebody passes away. I know it's a tough subject. I understand that it may not be easy to talk about. It's not easy to try to address the subject. However, when you are talking about your overall financial plan, or trying to set up your family for success, you need to lay part of the foundation with what we call a life insurance. Okay. The second, as you see on the screen, is to provide means to replace income when an insured person passes away. The whole idea here is that you by the contract you have with the insurance company, you will be able to provide an income replacement. What does it mean? Well, if let's say you have a spouse, and husband and wife, and perhaps one person is a primary breadwinner, or maybe they all provide a specific amount towards the family's upkeep financially. If one of them were to pass away, how do you continue the lifestyle of the family without another source of revenue or income coming in? That is what life insurance will do. The insurance company, by contract, will pay a lump sum that will act as replacing the income for the person that has passed away for at least a duration of time. Okay. Uh, Again, depending on your need, your personal circumstance, there are various ways to plan as to how much of income replacement you will need to be able to help you and your family be in good shape, or not at least manage the transition of your lives, God forbid, if they were to pass. Okay. The next we see here says a way of financial protection for a family during one of the hardest times of their lives. You see, when you go through hardship of this nature, saying, loss of a family member or anything like that, without the ability to provide a protection and have resources financially, it's going to be tough for the family to be able to navigate not only mourning the loss of the individual, but also dealing with the financial hardships and various hardships that may accrue or accompany the loss of the last loved one. So it's a way of financially protecting your family. So life insurance can be a tool, a vehicle to protect. In fact, it's one of the most reliable vehicles to protect your family against financial hardship because of somebody passing away and therefore losing their income that comes from there. Okay, so that's another use of life insurance. We may also talk about what we say it may also be used to accumulate tax-free money if designed properly. Now, that is a unique concept. Not all type of insurance may have that feature into it, depending on what you are dealing with. If you are interested, to learn more about that, again, you may be able to reach out so we can help you with that, or whoever is your financial professional or licensed representative, they can be able to talk to you about some of the specific unique features to be able to help you understand how life insurance could be used as a way to accumulate tax-free money, wealth creation, if it is designed properly. It may not be suitable for everybody, but if it suits you in terms of where your personal risk tolerance and your lifestyle and financial situation is, it can be a very powerful tool to help you accumulate ongoing tax-free money for use in future. There's something we call, uh, the cash value in life insurance can be used as a financial vehicle to supplement retirement income. Again, this is unique to the permanent insurance, and there are several flavors of that. However, if you design it properly and if it's well done, it can be one of the tools to help you accumulate cash, wealth over time, long term, as a vehicle to supplement your retirement income. Remember, when you talk about retirement income, most of us know, well, Social Security, if we have the opportunity to have access to that based on how many years we've worked and contributed into it. That's one leg. There is also pension. These days, we hardly hear about the word pension. Is that right? So we may hear 401ks and all of that, but some institutions still have pensions in place. So it's the second leg. Otherwise, most people may have 401ks. The third component is what a personal savings. So we have a we call it three-legged stool of retirement income: Social Security, employer pensions or the pension you have contributed, maybe 401k, and the third one is your personal savings. So life insurance, actually the permanent type, can be one of the vehicles you could use, okay, besides other investment vehicles you may have out there, your CDs, your stock, your bonds, your mutual fund, whatever else you have, the ability to invest in. You can have the choice, okay, if it's suitable for you, to use life insurance contract as a way to save accumulate some of your money over time in a much tax-friendly environment that you can be able to access to supplement your retirement income. It may not be the all that you have as retirement income, but it can be one source. And the last but not least use we mentioned here is to transfer financial wealth to heirs. Frankly, there is no other instrument out there that can replace the ability to transfer huge amount of money to family members or even charity and all that at a very minimum cost. Okay, so these are pretty basic uses. There are several other uses we can talk about. We can talk about estate planning, uses of it, how you can use it to help minimize, estate taxes if you're in that kind of category. Gifting, charitable gift, you can use certain tools in life insurance to be able to achieve that. There are in fact plans where you can use that in a way to save for college for kids if you started early. I mean, the uses of it is really dynamic. Okay. However, the primary use is to help provide a death benefit, for the loss of a loved one, and help replace income and protect your family. All the others are bells and whistles that can be used effectively in a comprehensive financial plan that you may have. So these represent a few of the uses of life insurance that we can discuss as we try to go through this. So in wrapping up, I have on the screen, if you can text the word easy faith, easy FAITH, easy faith to the number 474747. We may have an article, just general financial information that you could, kind of use to supplement some of the discussions we've had today. With that said, we want to, thank you for tuning in today, listening to our broadcast, Financial Breakthrough Academy. I'm Emmanuel, your certified financial educator, bringing you another edition of Financial Breakthrough. Topic today was uses of life insurance. If you're in the community, we spend a lot of time educating, teaching our community what various financial tools and vehicles we have at our disposal to help us bring value to our families and plan for the future. We are always open to share, teach, meet with groups, churches, community business owners, individuals to help you implement some of the ideas we share on this platform to help in promoting sound financial literacy in our community and helping us live the free financial life that we all desire. There is nothing more, especially those of us who are believers, is that right? If we have this belief that yes, we are born again, we have the mind of Christ, we are blessed of the Lord, the least to demonstrate that is that we should be in a position to be a blessing not only to ourselves but also to our family members, our churches, our community. And the financial blessing we have becomes one vehicle that we can easily use to show love to people when somebody is in need. Not only will we pray for God to touch their lives, but also we can stretch our hands and say, here, take this, have food to eat, clothe yourself, just do good to somebody and let their life be changed. By our demonstration of love, because we have the resources financially to do that, people's life will be changed and touched for the better. This has been Emmanuel, your certified financial educator, wrapping up today on this program, Financial Breakthrough Academy. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll be back very soon. Be blessed.